This might be something to be aware of. You'll have to determine that for yourself. They have been, for a very long time, controlling what incoming and outgoing through the artificial frequency fence. They will allow, like sometimes they'll leave individuals alone to raise their frequency and vibration, only to then rape those. And I know that they also somehow control incoming. Manifested universal law corrections. What I'm not exactly sure of is how much, because they try to control so much of the outgoing. So because of that, there may not be large, or there hasn't up to date been large incoming manifested universal law correction. What I'm really hoping for is that there are true benevolent beings listening to these recordings, or some of them, and have your own active gifts, skills, and abilities, and that you are doing what you can to, or have been doing what you can to look outside of here, look at the fence, try and glean and intuit and perceive things going on outside of here, with the fence, just outside of here in general, and the universe, or outside this flat plane with the dome, whatever it is that you think about it. I hope that there are those of you who are using your abilities to glean more information. Now, I've been contemplating this and trying, basically, we need to break the fence. We need to either get it deactivated or break it altogether. What's being forced here is just so abhorrent and sickening. It needs to stop. And, they want to try and continue this, what they've been doing elsewhere. And, the fact that they're trying to force everybody into the AI system, they're trying to obstruct the inhabitants and beings here from perceiving and receiving the actual truth of the organic energetic field because of their artificial overlay. Their it's lies, cons, and deceptions, and that's not, that's just one more thing that's just so wrong, to lie to an entire race and try and obstruct them from protecting themselves, from helping themselves, from attaining true benevolent assistance, from trying to perceive what's outside of here, to expand to try and obstruct beings from expanding and coming more, actually receiving more of their manifestations that they have worked very hard for, that many have suffered for. Many things that you have already manifested have been obstructed and prevented from reaching you for insidious reasons. And that's another reason why humanity is still doing this. So that is just so wrong to do that to a race. And I've been contemplating trying to figure out ways to deactivate and or break the fence. In addition to that, now, whether there is an entity running and operating this universe or there isn't. Either way, it is still going to be extremely beneficial to reach whatever is outside of here, because it's either we reach the true universe and field, energetic field outside of here, that will only then assist us, and or if it's an entity running and operating this universe, once we break that fence, we will be, what that is we're forcing the universe's hand to either correct, or something else is going to happen to the entity running and operating this universe if he's been bad, right? If he's been complicit in the obstruction of this race's evolution, among probably many others. So either way, being able to reach outside of this place is only going to be beneficial, and either force the universe's hand to comply, get rid of the entity running and operating this universe altogether, and or reach the actual true universe, the true, whatever is outside of here, the true energetic field outside of this place, that will then, we will then have immediate access to, and that will only assist us, that will only be beneficial to help us quickly get up to speed in our evolution. So, yeah, they're real pissy. They're real pissy about this one. Yeah, they've been really trying to do some very nasty things the last couple days. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll go into that another time. So either way, what I'm hoping for is that, I'm sorry for the repetition. I hope some of you are listening that are truly benevolent, that do not hold ill intent towards me, who are using your abilities, doing what you can to use your higher faculties, to work out of your higher capacities as best you can. You are quite capable. If you're not quite feeling it yet, it's because of the artificial frequency overlay, and it's because you just haven't experienced direct evidence of your true capacity yet. You are capable. We all are. I've experienced at certain times my capacity, and all of you are quite capable of working out of a higher capacity, and are quite capable of accomplishing very large feats very easily, and are capable of amazing things. It's just, this has been, we've been trapped in this asylum, this prison, this nasty inverted time loop matrix. Those lies are not you. The lies, cons, and deceit that they're forcing, that is the artificial overlay, are not you. It's been obstructing you from experiencing your true self. So know that you are quite capable, and that it wouldn't take you very long to get up to speed once you are fully exposed to the true, authentic, organic, energetic field of this place and of this universe. We just have to get the impediment out of the way. We have to get the obstructions out of the way. So that's that. And then I've been contemplating ways to break the fence. So one thing I think that any true benevolent being listening should be aware of is that, because they have been obstructing outgoing, I'm sure that there are times in your life when you have experienced high vibrations and frequencies, and have experienced true spiritual growth. and true expansion and true realizations and true epiphanies. It's just they've been raping those. And what they do is they force, they hijack them, and then they try to obstruct them from going through the fence. And then they also try and store those things. From my understanding of it, in the fence, I'm not sure where in the fence, but I know that the artificial fence is a large part of the AI system. So what I would say, or what I will say, is that in you, if you are one who is doing your best to retrieve anything that has been raped from you out of all AI systems and that damn fence, at that point, all of the high vibrations and frequencies that like in high emotions, true high vibrational thoughts, perceptions, everything, all of your emotions from experiencing those times and those thoughts and those frequencies and vibrations, once you retrieve them, one thing that might be able to be done is to then, since those should have been going to directly to universal laws, to the universe itself, they should have been going there anyway. So once you retrieve those, I think it might, you now definitely think on it and question your heart, check your heart with it, and check your intuition. But what could be done is to retrieve your stuff, and then you would be redoing it. In other words, putting what should have reached the universe and universal laws or outside of here to begin with, basically you're having to redo it and push it. Basically, my thought is that the aim, like the intention, is for those things to reach outside of here and reach the universe itself, or whatever is outside of here, and reach universal laws directly, while you're pushing it through the fence. So the intention would be taking your stuff, the high vibrations and frequencies and emotions and all of that have been raped from you, pull those from the fence, and then you are then intending to push those through the fence directly to universal laws and directly to the universe itself. And my thought in that is because you're doing it, we would be doing it directly and bypassing all obstruction, bypassing their rape. I'm sorry, 1 second. They're trying to yank on my astral body. Because there's one that tries to take credit for what I say, and then it tries to then do magic on what I say. Because it feels like its way of thinking is it attaches to me, and then it tries to rape from me, and then it thinks whatever entity or demon this is thinks it then has can do what it wants with that. And that is totally against the revocation of my consent for any entity to be raping from me, to take credit for anything that I've done or said. And I've been clear with that. So that's what's going on right there. Sorry about the interruption. Moving on. So that might be one thing that could be done to affect the artificial frequency fence, to break it and or deactivate it and or cause some kind of cause it to break down, cause it to not work properly or well. The universe itself, there's still that question whether, it's an entity running and operating the universe, or it's just an empty place where beings emerge, or, maybe you have your own ideas about what the universe is, or what outside of here is. I don't know. You'll have to kind of figure that out. But if it's either one of the things that I've talked about, here's the thing, is if it's an entity running and operating this universe, remember how I said that these entities try and do things in a removed fashion to loophole and or evade universal laws. That's why they get the group on the surface to do everything, right? Because they're using them as the scapegoats, the patsies, the throwaways. All of these entities are trying to do as much as they can in a removed fashion, because everything is recorded. There is an Akashic Records. I believe there might be a fake one too. I'm not sure about that. But things are recorded. And your hearts are also a record. So bypassing the fence and putting things directly, like they should be, directly out to the universe, and directly to universal laws, the universe itself would either have to personally violate universal laws, or he's gonna have to fucking sit back and sit on his hands and not be able to do a fucking thing about it, because it's going directly to universal laws without any kind of fenced, like have any kind of obstruction with it. Because if you're putting it through the fence directly, your intention in doing so, and your follow through with it, right? You gotta intend, have the emotion there, the intention there, the action, try to envision it, that you're putting your stuff through the fence directly out to the universe, to universal laws, right? You're doing it. You're not just kind of saying it and then allowing it to hang out in the ethers for them to rape. So with that intention, you're doing it. And so then the universe itself, if it is an entity running and operating the universe that's corrupt and complicit, there's not going to be much he will be able to fucking do about it, because that means he would have to personally interfere and be obstructing of universal laws when you are in your full right, especially with those high vibrations and frequencies, coming out of place of love or joy or expansion or whatever, that you are in your full right, and that those things should not be interfered with. And he would have to then either personally violate universal laws or try and somehow justify his actions as to why he would obstruct such frequencies and vibrations, right? So again, we force his hand, or we just reach the organic universe as it should be. Now, it might be worth trying. I think it's better if many do it, obviously. I'm not sure that there are really too many benevolent beings that listen, that are even subscribed to my channel, or listen to these recordings. But what would really be helpful is, in order to have an effect, I think it would have to, I'm sorry for the interruption again, there's mosquitoes in here. Obviously it would be better for many beings to be doing, retrieving what they've already either their what has been raped from them, from the fence, from all technologies, and then just putting it where it goes yourself. And I don't know that we have those numbers. It would be great if we did, or if we do. But I would say if there's any true benevolent beings listening to these recordings, I'm hoping you all at least give it some thought and see if it resonates with you. And then if it does, then try and do those actions. We need to find a way to break the fence. Because this place is, the organic part of it might be able to be saved. The animals, the land, the water, the plants, right? It's just it's the energetic field that needs to be cleaned up. It's the energetic field that we have to remove the artificial frequency overlay from, and either collapse it or deactivate it. It's deactivating the tech. It's doing what we can to the tech in order to get it to stop pumping out the inorganic, the artificial frequency overlay. Because if everybody could feel the true organic energetic field, we wouldn't be having these issues. And they wouldn't be here. Obviously, the whole thing about it is, you know, that it should be obvious that universal laws are being obstructed and hijacked, because if they weren't, these bitches wouldn't be here. They would have already burned where they stood. They would have already been incinerated. That's how you know there's fuckery with universal laws. I'm sorry. Let's see where I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. Now, because they have been regressing universal laws for a very long time. I've mentioned this in other recordings, that there's a backlog. And the backlog goes back for either a few or several millennia. So here's the thing. When this place is finally exposed, to universal laws in full capacity without obstruction, there's a lot of malevolence here. And for everything that has been forced here, and for all the malevolence here, please be aware that when all of that hits universal laws all at once, you're gonna see some shit. Like, you're gonna see some things you ain't never seen before. And it's gonna be all at once. So it's probably, I don't know that I've ever seen this or experienced that in a different timeline or in a different place in the universe, or just a different place somewhere else. I don't know that I've seen that. So I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I can certainly imagine what it might look like. And what I'm imagining is going to be a fucking mess. More like chaos. And smelling nastiness burning everywhere. I just don't know what that's going to look like exactly, so I can't say. I would say maybe you should contemplate that and imagine many millennia of universal laws, manifested correction backlog hitting all at once. What do you think it's going to look like? Yeah. So that's one thing to be aware of. Not be holding anything that's not yours, right? Don't be holding the bag. Don't be holding the bag when the fence is being forced to be turned off, or whichever happens first, that this place is fully exposed to universal laws. Don't be holding the bag. So anything that's not yours, that's being forced on you, do your best to reconcile it and release it back to the originating source, because you don't want universal laws scanning you and seeing you holding that stuff, because that's not yours. And you want universal law, you want to have your true reciprocating reactions, or your true reciprocating return of what universal laws would be organically returning to you based on your true frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance. So yeah, don't be holding the bag. I'm sorry for the repetition. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. So do what you can to take care of those things the best that you can, and be doing your best to retrieve all your stuff, everything that's been raped from you, once again, out of all clones, artificial realities, astral realms, technologies, the artificial frequency fence, and then be removing, if you can remember, please be removing all forced violations of universal laws that were either done or forced onto things that were raped from you without your knowledge and consent, and or against the revocation of your consent. That way those are also not attached to you. And fear. Fear is the biggest thing that needs to be reconciled and released. There's no need to fear the organic universe. This species has induced much of the fear. Now you have your own shit, but most of your own shit is a result of what you've taken on in prior lifetimes that was forced by that species that you've just carried. So it's important that you spend some time really sitting with yourself and really determining what is really yours and what is not, what you really have fear of and what you don't. Remember that guilt has no consciousness. Do not be holding any guilt, and there's no reason to be holding any guilt, especially true benevolent beings who have the intent to heal, who have who embody and or possess compassion and empathy, and try to do right by others, and try to correct mistakes and trying to expand themselves and be the best version of themselves, and to try and make things right, and work out of your higher capacities in your heart. So there's no need to have fear. I mean, in a true sense of learning, mistakes will be made. And the true benevolent creator understands or understands this. It's whether you correct them. What do you do to correct them? And do you continue to hold on to that? Or once you correct them, is that you reconciling it and releasing it and then moving forward? There's no need to hold on to guilt. Please don't. Do the best that you can to release all guilt. That's something that comes from religions, and that was induced for the exact reason, because it has no consciousness. That's why it was included in religions. Okay, so there's no need for guilt, and really there's no need for shame, especially if you think that you did something wrong, or you did something wrong or whatever, and you tried to correct and make it right, even if the other person didn't accept it, or didn't respond to it, or what have you. You did your part. So continuing to feel bad about something, especially once you've corrected it, that serves no purpose. It doesn't, except to keep your own self down. So, do the best that you can to reconcile those things and release them. Guilt, shame, denial, unworthiness. Definitely get rid of that one. Definitely get rid of that one. That's all their shit. That's all nastiness that's been forced by them. We are worthy. We are. So, and then if you're still feeling some issues or resistance with that, you really need to look at yourself and go inward and really search your emotions as to why you feel unworthy. And trace it back to the originating source, right? Trace those emotions back to the originating circumstance, the originating source, maybe the originating parent or family member. Where did that come from? Was that their shit? Are you taking on their shit? Right? Because it was instilled in you at a very young age. It's time to get rid of those things. They do not serve. They only serve the malevolence. And they only assist the malevolence in keeping you down. Okay, so I'll try not to repeat. Do the best that you can with that one. Let's see. We just need to be doing what we can to break the fence, deactivate the fence, get rid of the fence, to finally allow the full, complete enforcement of universal laws here. And we need to be working on this. I don't know, again, for me personally, it seems like the true benevolent creator is MIA. Maybe you feel that you've been communicating with the true benevolent creator. That's great. I would say then be asking his assistance in this. Be asking his assistance in helping to deactivate the frequency fence and the directed energy weaponry, right? And assisting us with truly protecting ourselves from parasitic entities who are using technology to obstruct and regress universal laws and universal law correction. So do your best, if you think that you're truly communicating with the benevolent creator, to be doing that. I've been screaming for him for 10 years. I don't think it's, again, I've stated this in another recording, that it's that he's not responding due to those old religious beliefs. I think what it is something's gone on there. I think something's happened there. And I'm not going to elaborate on things with that, but I hope it's not the case. I hope it's not. I hope I'm wrong about that specific thing. But if I'm right about it, then what we need to do is we need to be doing the best that we can to help ourselves at this point get ourselves out of this fucking inverted matrix the best that we can, and being as strong as we can, and holding as much courage as we can, and holding as much belief in ourselves that we can, that we are capable of doing large things, that we are capable of doing, being able to get ourselves out of this fucking prison, this matrix that shouldn't even be here. So I believe that we are fully capable. It's just a matter of numbers. It would just be really helpful to have more numbers working on it. I think there are those of you out there that do have gifts, skills, and abilities, are quite capable of using them, are quite adept at using them, and should be using them. And just get rid of the only thing that's impeding you is maybe, maybe some emotions there revolving around unworthiness, or fear that it's not okay, or fear that there are some that might be still have some fear about their own power. If you're a true benevolent being and you were doing always doing your best to take right action, then you should not fear your own power. You should know that as you are standing in your full power, that you will do your best to act in honor and integrity, and take right action, and do what is right by others with compassion and empathy. So hopefully there are those out there that do not fear your own power. You need to be in possession of all of your stuff right now, from here moving forward. That's why I've encouraged all true benevolent beings to be taking what has been raped from them out of all technologies, that fence, all artificial, wherever they've raped it and taken it to. Because you've got stuff in the astral realms, most likely you've got stuff in artificial realities, as well as the technology and the artificial fence. You need to be really doing your best to be pulling all your stuff out, because you need your stuff right now. You need all of your stuff with you, as it should be right now, because you need to be using all your stuff. And fuck those whores, right? They never had your consent to rape it. Most of it was done without your knowledge. So you are fully justified in taking back what is yours, what has been raped from you, from a fucking parasite. You're taking it back. You're not asking. You're just going to be taking your stuff back, is what that is. And just remember that they're trying to use your stuff against you. So they're trying to use your confidence in yourself, in your knowledge, like your confidence in knowing of yourself. They're trying to take that and rape it and then come back at you with it. Like they're trying to wear your energy to put you in fear, to try and make you fear your own energy. What it is you need to stop, realize what's going on, realizing they're coming at you with your own stuff, and then all of a sudden the fear goes away because you realize that's your stuff and you're not scared of your own stuff. So you're just going to be taking back your own stuff, and you will watch how fast they fucking shrink when you do that. You just need to be able to recognize it in the moment as to what's going on. They're trying to wear your stuff and scare you with it. Okay, as long as you don't fear your own stuff, you can easily take that moment to be like, oh, that's what's going on. That bitch is wearing my stuff. No. And as soon as you realize it, as soon as you have that thought that that's your stuff, it automatically, that frequency and vibration transfers back to you. And then you will watch how fast they shrink. Okay, that's what that is. So just be able to recognize it is what I'm saying. Okay, now, I'm sure that some of you may have your own ideas or, possible solutions with this whole fence deal. I know that many of you don't leave comments or messages. It's almost better that way because they try to track who watches my videos and who is attaining understanding, who is really recognizing and feeling truth and truly understanding the bigger picture. They do monitor, and I'm not trying to say that out of some egoic sense, because I mean, look at my channel. It's only got like 400 and some subscribers, and most of those are perps. So I'm not coming out of it from like, ooh, I'm just not coming out of it from an egoic place. What I'm saying is, there are things that I talk about and state that are very concerning to specific entities, and they do monitor or try to monitor those who watch or who listen to my recordings. And then if they can try and do that, then they try and monitor those individuals as to how they're progressing, what they're thinking about, what they're contemplating, how much do they understand, how much are they seeing the truth of the bigger picture. Okay, so they do. So it's probably almost best that you don't leave messages and comments on my channel. However, if you do still find that you want to leave a message or comment, that's fine. I will always respond, as long as you're not a perp, as long as I don't think that you're a perp, that you're a true benevolent being, I will respond. And that if you have a question or a concern, or want to bring something else to light, I'm more than happy to take a look at what you said and contemplate that, and because obviously more true benevolent beings working on the solution, the quicker the solution, right? The quicker we can get this done. So I just realized that there's not too many that listen, or that leave comments and messages. I'm sorry, just a moment, please. They're trying to rate my life force energy. Once again, pretty much for the same reason as when they try to attach to my astral body. I'm going to try and finish this up here. They're really, the last few recordings that I've done, there are specific entities that have taken real issue with that. And so that tells me that there's at least a couple or a few true benevolent beings listening to these recordings. And that those benevolent beings might be possibly expanding their understanding and coming into higher frequencies and vibrations, and actually being able to do more. And also be aware that your energies and frequencies affect others in your energetic field. So even if you don't say something to them directly, if you have understanding, if you are operating out of higher capacities, frequencies, vibrations, resonances, other individuals pick up on that invisibly. They pick up on that like it's unsaid. All of that has to do with energy and energetic reactions. So you will, if you have, the more your understanding expands, you will be affecting, even without ever talking to them, you will be affecting others with your auric field, with your personal energetic field. And your energy will be silently communicating with others' energies. So you are helping. With your understanding. So as you expand, be aware that happens, that you energetically communicate silently, or silently energetically communicate with others. And that, I said that to say this, that even though you might never talk to those individuals, the more beings, true benevolent beings that have resonance, that have some kind of an energetic understanding of the truth of things, of an expanded vision or an expanded reality or expanded options, that still helps us. That still adds to our numbers. So that might be something to be aware of. I mean, we could so do this. And it really, I don't think it would take very many of us, as long as we're holding the right frequency and vibration. I really don't think it would take very long for even just a few of us to break that fence. What it should be is the majority of humans kind of all, or at least some or most, coming to higher frequencies and vibrations of a similar frequency, like more at once. Or even if it takes like over a period of time, a specific vibration and frequency of a high nature should be reached continuously over time by a large group of beings. A high frequency vibration, because that is what would also break the fence, deactivate the fence. But because of what they've done, forced on humanity, take a look around, right? So right now it's, it might just, like, if we're trying to get out of here, it might just be a few of us working on it, right? So I'm just saying, do you want out of here or don't you? And I'm not talking about like leaving it might be that, because remember what I said, when universal laws, this place is fully exposed to universal laws all at once. I don't know what this place is going to look like after, right? So it could be that this planet, this place stays intact, and just all the malevolence incinerates where they stand, which would be awesome to view. That would be fucking amazing. Or some bigger stuff happens. And we all end up in our right place immediately due to certain happenings in this universe. So, who knows? We're going to find out what that's going to look like. But I think if you want out of here, anywhere near as bad as I do, you'll be doing what you can to work on it. And I think we can totally do it. I do. I really do. We're high vibrational beings. They rape from us for a reason. It's because we can fucking do shit. It's just believe in yourself. It's a matter of belief in yourself. And they've just been obstructing your manifestations to obstruct your belief in yourself, because they don't want us doing what we just naturally do, or that we can organically do quite easily in the right frequency and vibration. So have faith, have faith in yourself, belief in yourself. Just know that you have been obstructed for a long time, but know that you can do those things. Manifest quickly. Manifest instantaneously. Manifest and manipulate your physical reality quickly and without issue. Change your energetic field. If you can manipulate your own frequencies, your own energetic field, your own energy, then you can just extrapolate and extend that outward, right? Like, I'm just saying, it's okay to believe in yourself that you can do those things. It's not anything that, like some people think that, like, only they see that stuff only in movies, that only Superman can do those things. That is not true. Those movies are put out to fucking mock you. You have to realize what that shit's about. Okay, we can do those things. They put those out because they've been impeding our manifestations and our belief in ourselves. And then because they know what we can do, then they put it on the big screen and fucking mock the shit out of humanity. I'm just saying, just recognize that you can do those things. You can. It's just a matter of just believing in yourself and knowing that you can do those things. You have to know. It's belief and know. Just know that you can do those things and that you've just been impeded. That's all. We have to get rid of the impediment, the obstructions. Okay? So, all right, moving forward. Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, I'll just say, and maybe I've already said it, they're having a real problem with this fucking recording. They sure are. Let me just see if there's anything else I needed to go over. If you are of a mind, please be moving their violations directly to universal laws, devoid of magic, clone, surrogates, obstructions, and regressions. Be removing their protections when you are moving their violations and them to universal laws for correction. Okay? Devoid of all harm to you, always, and devoid of anything that they've raped from you. Let me see. Oh yeah, one quick note. That just brief recording I did about them sending me a strike. They did, as I was uploading that last video, they did give me, that's when they showed me that video regressions, that they had pulled it. And yet, 3 hours after that, looking at my channel, that video was there. Either it hadn't been pulled, and they gave me a false strike, or they pulled it and immediately put it back. Now, which one did they do? because the page that I was viewing, it showed it as removed. Now, I don't know what you all saw. I don't know what you all see now when you go to my channel. Is it there? Is the regressions video there, or isn't it? So I'm still seeing it. I don't know what you're seeing, but that's what that was. Well, actually, I don't know what that was. So who knows? Okay, let me see. Where are we at here? Wow, 55 minutes. Okay, I'm sure some of you are going, this ran long, so my apologies. Hopefully there's some information in there that you see importance in and possibly contemplate. Be trying to come up with your own solutions to this whole fence problem. And as well as possible impediments. It's good to know about, if you are able to intuit the frequency fence or glean it, and can like either see energy or see frequency or see vibrate, whatever, take a look at it. What do you see? Right? We need to figure out what we're like, get more detail as to what we're dealing with, so we can better come up with a better solution to end it. There was one other little thing, just a moment. I mean, you could just take all of your stuff and send it directly to Universal Laws. Because I mentioned in the beginning of this recording that I don't necessarily know that there has been, because they've obstructed so much from going out, that there's been much in the way of true large manifested correction incoming. So it might be that if you send it directly to Universal Laws, if there's enough of us doing that, it might be that it works, that Universal Laws, when Universal Laws goes back to, because there was, if you're sending it out and there's no impediment, when Universal Laws goes to send back large manifested corrections, it could be that the large manifested corrections break the fence. I thought about that too. My point in forcing it through the fence was to break the fence. So we're either going to break it by forcing our stuff out of it with the intention of directly aiming and hitting Universal Laws in the universe itself and breaking it, or we're going to directly give it to Universal Laws in the universe outside of here itself, and then Universal Laws, when it goes to, if there's enough of us doing it, the large manifested correction incoming breaks the fence. Please, if you can, please contemplate and I'm only speaking to true benevolent beings that do not hold ill intent towards me, please be contemplating which one would be best for you to do. I'm still kind of contemplating as to which one. It might be just better for you to aim directly to Universal Laws and outside this universe. That be your initial intention, instead of trying to force it through the fence. Please check your intuition and your higher capacities, your higher knowledge and wisdom for that, and see which one would be best for you to do. Okay, so I'm going to, hopefully I wasn't too repetitive. I am trying to work on it, and I think I'll go ahead and wrap this recording up and just do the best that you can. Have total faith and belief in yourself. Know that you can accomplish amazing, great things. and that it doesn't have to be, we've just been impeded. That's all. Once you get a taste of your true manifestations of the true organic energetic field in your true emotions without obstruction, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy as cake to do things because all the impediment will be gone. So just don't focus too much on the impediment. Know that it's an impediment, that the lies, cons, and deceptions and impediments are not you. Okay? So trust yourself. Always know yourself. Do your best you can. Do the best that you can to know yourself well. And do your best to work out of your higher faculties and capacities the best that you can. Guard yourself well. Always be taking back your stuff. And do the best that you can to protect yourself, even as far as manipulating your own energy to try and do your own energetic protection that you came up with, right? Try not to use symbols that are pre-known, that are coming from those ones that call themselves angels, because we don't know what those symbols really mean, right? If you're going to do some kind of energetic protection, try and come up with your own stuff. Okay? That will be your best protection energetically. Okay. So do the best that you can, and until next time, I hope you're working on it. All right.